Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Won't be a long update because we haven't really had too many new movements here on the Bitcoin chart. My view is still that at best, at the moment at least, from what I can see at the moment, at best we get a bit of short-term upside movement and then we will come down once more. It could come down straight away, so for me the trend is still down, and at the moment any moves to the upside here, they would be of corrective nature. I had a few questions in the last few days and weeks when I said Bitcoin is going to make new lower lows with a high likelihood. Nothing is ever guaranteed in these markets, but if this happens, then other coins could not start to move up without Bitcoin. This would not work. And again, we've got good examples. Just look at Matic. I mean, even if it's a bit slow at the moment, but it is moving up. Just look at Quant, QNT. They have decoupled from Bitcoin. I mean, it's time to realize that coins do decouple at times from Bitcoin. You can't do a Bitcoin analysis and then think that you know all the altcoins. It's just not true. You would miss out on many of the altcoins that are performing well or are performing well in the near future because they are in breakout patterns. But here, just to double check where we are with Bitcoin, the view is still that from the high at 25.2K, we came down in a wave 1. That was a wave 1 over diagonal. Then we moved up in a wave 2, came down in a 3. We are now either still in the wave 4 or we have completed it. So we could say the wave 4 is still ongoing and wave 5 still to come. Here you can see that we reacted quite nicely to the fib level, the 50% fib level of the wave 3, which is always a good sign that a wave 4 could be over. Therefore, primarily, actually, I'm leaning towards rolling over and a drop to the downside, but the move up is still possible because we did hold the 19,200 level or 250 level that I mentioned over the weekend many times. So for me at the moment, different possibilities here for the wave 4. It all depends on, are we going to break above that previous wave B high or not? So if we can make it above 20,450, I think then we have a chance to put an even higher high in here for the wave C. It would already be a good indication that we are pushing higher if we can make it. Well, there's a few levels here that are of relevance. We've got the 19,650 level, the wave 4 high. Then we have the wave 1 low at 19,890 and the wave 2 high at 20,270. On the flip side, important to the downside is that 19,200 level, then 18,950 and then finally 18,450. And then we can make a new low. In this particular wave count, we don't really need to go any lower than, let's say, 17.6K. Could come down to, I think, 17K. It depends on how high does the wave 4 eventually go. In this particular pattern, obviously, the wave 3 is already quite short. It is shorter than wave 1, and therefore, any wave 5 must not be shorter than wave 3, or we are not in this particular wave pattern anymore. So actually, if we measure that at the moment, we can say that the wave 5 must not be longer than or must not take us below 15.8K. That's the absolute maximum it can do. But as you can see here, we already have a trend line here that would take us only to 17.6K. So we'll see, but that is just something to mention. And then on the other chart with a slightly different wave count, it's a similar story, short term, that we can push higher before we come down. But as per this count, which shows you the direct sell-off count, we can also come down straight away. Same story, short term, as on the other chart. The main difference is that the move down is counted differently and that we can put another low in after the one that would come next. And also be aware that we dropped out of this sort of ascending wedge to the downside. We just haven't seen that sell-off yet. So let's see if the sell-off starts. Could very well be that if we are in this C wave in yellow, that what is currently playing out here is really only the first wave, yeah, and there will be a wave 2 high before we come down, right? And this would be the direct sell-off without putting here a higher high in. Bitcoin's still uncertain, so there's a good chance we sell off straight away. I gave you the key support levels on the other chart. They are of high relevance here. And really, confirmation that we are coming down would be obtained if we drop below that 18,470 level down here. But yeah, you know, an ascending wedge broke to the downside. We have little volume at the moment, and we will have the CPI data this week. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot of movement until then. What happened, however, in the last few months, I think, is that we saw a little bit of volatility before that event, sort of in anticipation, getting something priced in. So it will be an interesting week nevertheless. So yeah, hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.